Welcome, everybody. It's another edition of The Sports Hole. I'm your host, Luke. With me, as always, rock and roll Matty Goldberg, except he doesn't know who Boz Skaggs is, and XFL Jim.
What's up, everybody? Feeling good. It's been a fun week.
Yeah, I'm sorry to know Boz Skaggs, but
how do you not know Boz Skaggs?
Do they sing Rosanna?
You run around town calling yourself rock and roll Matty Goldberg, and you don't even know Boz Skaggs?
Do they sing Rosanna, or is it the Tubes?
Boz Skaggs is one dude.
But isn't he in Toto?
It was Toto, Matty, that did Rosanna.
Okay. Toto did. Toto's their own band. They started out as session players.
They had great horn section.
They had a great everything. They were
Rosanna,
fucking session band for everybody, man. No, Miss the Rains in Africa. Have you ever heard of that one?
Oh, cool. Oh, the Africa is the biggest song. Yeah, Weezer does a cover of that.
I like how that's how you know it. Is that the only way you know Africa?
Well,
is because of Weezer's cover?
No, Asia sings "Don't Cry."
Asia,
yes. Yeah. They were. I had 45s. Like one of my first few 45s are Asia, "Don't Cry," and "Quiet Riot." Come on, feel the noise. Which
I don't even think I know that Asia song. I know Heat of the Moment.
Great. But what was I gonna say? I watched the Randy Rhoads documentary 2 days ago.
How was that?
It was good. I didn't know him and Eddie Van Halen really hated each other. Like really hated each other.
Did you ever hear the story of Eddie Van Halen jamming with Limp Bizkit?
No.
So when Limp Bizkit's, I saw this today. I have no idea if it's true or somebody's just making up a great story. But
yeah,
apparently when Limp Bizkit's guitarist left, and Van Halen wasn't doing much because it was early 2000s.
Yeah,
he invited Eddie Van Halen to come over and jam with him, and Eddie's like, "Nah, fuck it. What's the worst that can happen?"
Of course.
And he gets over there and he's like, "Oh God, these guys really suck."
Yeah.
And then they start smoking weed, and he's like, "Okay, I better get out of here." So he left, and then he was trying to come back and pick up his shit, then his recording, his gear, and Fred Durst ghosted him. So he rolled up in some army assault tank that he had, pulled up right up in the lawn where they were doing all this recording, and came out with a gun and held it to Durst's head and said, "Give me back my fucking gear."
I've never heard that.
Okay, that checks out.
I would love it if somebody just made up these stories and put them on YouTube, because that's where I found it.
Yeah, I'm not a Limp Bizkit fan, but for a moment, like, if you're Eddie Van Halen's the mid 90s and they're the big band, you're like, this hip hop metal thing is the new thing. Let me get in on it, even if it's not very good. But I've never heard that story. That's a wild ass story.
Imagine if you're like Eddie Van Halen and you're like, you're doing all your air raid, you're all your just best licks, and then you got some dude like with a red ball cap going, "Oh yeah, oh shit,
well, yeah, that was where music was
no,
heading.
She didn't."
I read.
I guess that's not much different than David Lee Roth, though. So
I know this is really embarrassing, but I read a lot of rock bios. I read Stephen Pearcy's rock bio. He was the singer of Rat.
Oh yeah, of course.
And the only reason why he was friends with Eddie Van Halen is he lived on a street, and they live on like the hills and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie is hiding his alcoholism to his wife. So he can basically go to Stephen Pearcy's house and get just fucking shit-faced all the time. So that's where he stashed his booze.
That's a great story. I'm sure a lot of friendships have been made from guys hiding their addiction from their wives.
Probably.
Yeah, especially in rock. Yeah. My little sister used to dress. She used to work for John Barbados, which was like the fashion for all the rock stars. And she would tell me, like, it's just the wives that take care of these old guys,
Right.
Like, she's met them all, and she's like, it's the wives like kind of run the show, because these guys, like Joe Walsh and guys like that, they can't even wipe their own ass, Like they can play and they're talented, but they need a woman to like point them left and right,
Oh yeah, when you're that talented, you never have to like do anything, because everyone's doing everything for you. So I guess it's not much different when you get a wife.
It's also a sad day today. It's my father's birthday. He passed away about 10 years ago. Happy birthday, Jack, up in the sky.
Happy birthday, Jack.
I'm
Happy
sure
birthday.
you're proud of me doing the
Is
sports
that
hall.
is that what your nephew's named after them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I don't think I ever
That's
knew that.
badass.
I'm sure he's listening to the sports hall up in heaven.
You don't think he has anything better to do?
Nope. He's like,
Okay.
I want to hear Maddie's takes on it. He's like, Matt, keep up the Pat McAfee stuff. That's good.
Yeah. Was your dad like a firecracker like you? Would he get pissed at things?
He was a huge Red Sox fan. I remember one time Pedro, who was like the greatest pitcher that the Red Sox I've ever seen, was getting lit up, and he literally spit on the television. Like just took from point blank right on Pedro.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, he was a very intense guy, where a guy would get hurt, like Nomar would get a little hurt, and he'd call me, he's like, he's fucking done. He's fucking done. I'm like, no, I'll be out of 2 weeks. No, he's fucking done. He's fucking done. So he got to see, that was his team, the Red Sox. So
I love it.
Yeah. Also, very other sad news today. Stuttering John quit the internet again.
How
no.
How long do you think till he's back?
Monday.
Yeah.
Although, you know what he did? He put up a video of a song he wrote that's really sappy and cheesy about people being mean to him. And it's a montage of him as a child and throughout the years he died or something. And every comment's you fucking loser, go fucking die, you piece of... There's not one positive. It's everything he does doesn't work. It's great.
Jim, over the holiday break, will you make such a song and video for us, please?
You want me to want that I'm dead?
Well, not that you're dead, but just people, you through the years, and it's kind of sappy, and show pictures of baby XFL Jim.
I'll try and get that done before the end of the year.
I'm predicting
no promises.
big things for Jim in 2024. I think he's one of the most talented guys on the scene doing this type of stuff. And I watch his other podcasts, and his little videos are hysterical. So it's just one guy's got to see Jim, and then he'll tell us to go fuck ourselves.
I need to get those press passes for the UFL and get actual credentials.
Did you ever look at Caleb Presley and oh wait, you have a mustache and hair too? Why can't that be me?
I did look at that guy. He also has D1 football experience though.
You know who you remind me of? You ever see this really crappy movie, Hackers?
Yes, I love Hackers.
Johnny Miller, Angelina Jolie.
Guy that comes on, he's like, "What's up, everybody? I'm the hacker guy." He's got all the news. And if Jim is that for the XFL, it would, it'd be a great, they should hire him. They really should, because he is the XFL expert.
I don't know. I want him to rebrand as Hacker Guy now.
Yeah. I got get a Hacker Jim out there. I talked about it with a couple people today. I'd love to get college football media clearance just so I could go to Louisville and ask Jeff Brom about his time in the XFL.
That would be awesome.
He didn't wear panties, that's for sure.
Damn right he didn't.
As Vince McMahon said, and our quarterbacks won't wear panties.
He also probably, from the 2001 version of the XFL, has the best quote.
Yeah, I remember
hands down.
What is it?
You don't remember it, Maddie?
I saw it about a month ago.
That's when someone asked him if he's ready to play because he had just gotten knocked unconscious the week before from a hit. So he's I got two questions for you. Is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Am I or am I not going to play football? Yes, I am. Let's play. No, it was do I or do I not currently have a pulse?
He's not the only guy.
I do. Let's play.
Have a pulse. Okay,
he's not the only guy that got knocked
I did.
out.
I did.
There was, one of the great moments of the original XFL is when they had all access to the women's locker room for the cheerleaders. And the camera guy,
we played that.
Got hit by the door. Yeah, the camera guy got hit by the door, and he got knocked out too.
Amazing.
So
if you type in Jeff Brom into YouTube, I mean that's the first thing that comes.
It's his real legacy.
Let's see if
the Orlando Rage are led by quarterback Jeff Brom. 7 TD passes, one of the XFL's first stars. Amazingly, he'll start tonight after a punishing shot that knocked him out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a big hit.
My first reaction was, I've was shocked, stunned, dazed, confused, was kind of, in another state of mind.
I saw his head one way and his body, and I'm like, oh, goodness.
His nose was out the side of his ear hole, and I was like, man. His helmet was halfway off his head, and he was just laying there. I don't know if he was breathing or not.
The concerns for quarterback Jeff Braun.
Carried
So
off
when they
in a
had to take me to the
stretcher.
hospital to get the
And
X-rays,
they
and once
followed
those
the
came out
ambulance,
okay, then
too.
I was
It
able
really
to
looks like
come back to the field with an X-brace on.
2001 had it.
For a guy
It was
to
the
take a
most
hit like that and
WWE.
then
out of
come back on the
Yeah, he went
sideline
back
and
to the
cheer his
field
team
with a
on,
neck
that
brace
really
on.
was touching. I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it.
Jeff Braun, how in the world are you starting this game tonight after taking that hit just 6 days ago?
Well, let me answer that question by asking you two questions. One, is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Two, do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
Man, I'm
I'll tell you
pumped
what,
up.
I never
dude.
heard
That gets me
Brett Favre say
fucking
that.
jacked. I love that.
I never heard Brett Favre say that. I never heard Aaron Rodgers say that. I never heard
What do you
John
mean?
Elway say that.
Aaron Rodgers came back to not play.
Yeah.
He
wow.
fought back to not play this year.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Doesn't believe in the orthodox science.
I wonder if they'll run it back next year.
What do you mean? Like Aaron
Same-
Rodgers won't be there?
Well, no, same guys, same coach. There's a lot of talk about maybe firing the coach, maybe starting over again,
I think they got to give him at least one more try at a
Yeah, I
year
agree.
with a quarterback.
It kills the whole Hard Knocks. You can just replay Hard Knocks this year for last year, minus
Yeah.
Zach Wilson.
Oh my god!
Did you enjoy the football of the NFL this week? I love the games. I love 3 games on Saturday. It's so fun. I wish they would do a Monday Night Football doubleheader and more spread the games out.
It is nice when they spread the games out, but you also that's a problem for them too, because
Well, they can't fuck with Saturday until the season's over.
yeah. And when they spread them out, they can show more games. We
have one more sports
the
hole
package.
before the NCAA Final Four.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of bowl games, and then the Final Four for New Year's.
Well, are we really gonna, cover the Outback assessment?
Some of those bowls are entertaining, Matty. The issue with bowl season
is
which
guys
has
are
been
opting out.
exemplified. Yeah, the window for the transfer portal is just totally destroyed bowl season.
I mean, I would love
Even
to
more.
see a Florida State, Georgia with all their guys and everybody coming to play, but I just find it a bummer that it's hard to gamble on these games because you don't know who came to show up for a vacation.
Oh,
And then-
half of Florida State sitting this one out. I'm just gonna sell you that off the bat.
And it's just stupid. But you know what? Fuck it. They should. They got fucked. Why not?
Florida State's now talking about leaving the ACC, which apparently
They talked about
every
that before
ACC
the season
team-
too.
Well,
Well,
it's
they-
just become such
yeah.
a money grab now, and so basically it is just becoming a 2-league, SEC Big Ten
Well,
showdown.
I think that's good because I think okay, tradition is over. Let's get the big boys playing with the big boys. Let's have more LSU versus Michigan. Let's have more Alabama versus Ohio State. Let's have more USC versus Texas A&M. Let's have more big matchups,
Yeah.
I think.
There's that aspect to it, but some of the most
it
entertaining
is great for
games
like
were-
a
Yeah.
week away now. I know Jim is like me. We do like the regional showdowns.
Can you
and
keep the
tradition,
Apple Cup
but
though? Can you keep Washington?
I guarantee you they're not fucking keeping that. No.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
Oregon, they have to keep it. I think that was part of the rule.
Mm.
But I don't think you're going to keep the Apple Cup. And you're
That's
not
a
keeping
bummer.
things like Bedlam. You're not going to keep a lot of those rivalries.
the
Yeah,
Red
it's
River.
sad.
Well,
Red River's
yeah.
still there. Red River's still
I guess
ain't going
it's
I
nowhere.
mean, look,
could be
Nebraska,
there. I mean-
Colorado was a massive rivalry when I was a kid. It was always the day after Thanksgiving, and
Oh yeah.
it was fun this year. But you move on, and it sucks. And I don't know. I didn't think I would like YouTube TV for the ticket, and YouTube TV is so much better than Direct TV. So I'm watching the
Times
Rams, by the
change.
way. I got the Rams -4 tonight. They're up 10-7.
How are they doing?
Me too, Maddie.
They're up 10-7. We got 1:48 to go in the first half. That's all I
Rams
can
are
say.
doing well for a team everybody thought
They
was
would
just going to
make the
collapse
playoffs.
this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they should have beat the Ravens, and the Ravens
Stafford's
are
been cooking.
probably the best team.
and they got a lot of cap space next year too. So a lot of people are actually like high on them next year for sure.
Well, we forgot that 2 years ago they won the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, but they sold out a lot, with a lot
That's
of
true.
picks and everything.
Yeah.
And then you think of people aging in that time period too. Few season
Still got
lost
Aaron Donald.
injuries, yeah. So
Still
we'll
got
see.
Stafford.
And McVay's he's it for them. So he can.
By the way, getting back to the rundown with your Lions looking really good, kind of coming back. There was a moment in the game that was really odd. Like, I'm gonna defend Russell Wilson because I saw like,
he was getting chewed out.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves enough respect not to be chewed out like that. That was humiliating. That was embarrassing, man.
It's kind of funny.
And he really didn't do anything that wrong to be chewed out like that.
I don't know. He kind of took it, so maybe he did do something wrong.
Well,
he didn't fight back against it all. Maybe is he a bitch? Is he just a bitch, Matty? Is that what you're saying about Russell Wilson?
No,
I'm just calling him a bitch.
No, I'm saying the coach Sean Payton was out of line there. Like I just think quarterbacks have enough respect that they're out there. They don't deserve to be just
to be teased.
Well, just fucking. I mean, I've never seen a guy get dressed down like that in a long ass time
and take it. He just took it like it was nothing.
I've seen. You can watch videos of Bill Parcells and Phil Simms going back. They go at it, and it's pretty fun. I've seen Jim McMahon go at it with Mike Ditka, but Russell Wilson just took it.
Yeah, right.
I know.
As well. They were getting their ass beat anyways. So
how's it feel for the Lions to be kind of back on the schneid? Like back on the wagon, Luke? Does it feel a little good to get this win?
Of course, yeah. Because you're like, when you're the Lions are like it still feels like it doesn't feel real until like they're going to be in the
playoffs.
Because you get these teams. You don't want it to feel like these Texas teams from the last 10 years where this season, sans this season because they're legitimately good this year, but these seasons where they had when it's like Texas is back and they're playing this ball, but the wins never feel good, and then they get beat up, and then by the end of the year it's like, okay, no, they're not back. But the Lions have rebounded, and that's a surging Broncos team. It's one of the hottest teams in the NFL, and they beat the shit out of them. So, it's good. I think the Lions can go all the way.
If they fix that D, they can be a factor. But I think losing the first round bye, they're right outside of it, and it's like you got to look back at your loss to the Bears, to the Packers.
I think I think their playoff run entirely depends on where they end up playing. I think similarly to kind of how I'm viewing the Dolphins, if they can snag playing in a dome a couple games, they could make some noise with that offense. That offense can take on anybody.
And I will say Tua had quite the fuck you moment to the press this weekend.
I saw that.
And that was pretty good. He's just like, look, man, I hear I'm not good without this guy, suck without this guy. I don't care. I'm trying to win games. Yeah. That's for you guys. And I just think it shut everybody up. And he's an honest guy. And I've watched a little of the Hard Knocks in season, and I've enjoyed him. And I just think he's it's like enough. It's like, now, is he a god of football? Is he a top 3 quarterback? Probably not. But he's a
15, top 10. Top
10. And of course, with Tyreek Hill, any team would, you take him away from Brady, you take him away from Mahomes, that team's gonna hurt.
The only thing for the Dolphins on me, obviously Jalen Waddle went off, which happens when you don't have any Tyreek. This week is the important game. Again, I'll keep bringing it up. As much as I've loved how they've looked a lot of the season, still haven't beaten a team with a winning record since October of last year.
It's a tough game. Wow. And so what I'm lucky about,
it's a crazy stat. The Dolphins have not beaten a team with a winning record in over almost a year and a half. It feels like it's just.
I'm in a 14-team fantasy league. I know nobody cares about fantasy football, but I'm in the playoffs. I'm playing against a dude that just his whole lineup is stacked with Dolphins. So when he wins by a lot. When they fucking go crazy, but when they have bad games, so this is kind of a good spot for me.
If they can go 1-3 in this stretch,
it's a tough stretch.
They got the Cowboys, they got the Ravens, and they got the Bills.
And the Bills are coming on.
The only must win for me is the Bills.
By the way, the Bills have changed everything with Joe Brady. Very rarely do we say a coach changes a lot, but the play calling is so much better.
How often do teams actually bring in an outside coordinator this late in the year? I would think they'd just promote somebody from within.
Well, he didn't do well with Carolina, but honestly, they didn't have a lot. So I don't know what he was doing, but he's been fantastic. He's getting the run game going. It's less relying on Josh Allen trying to find Stephon Diggs the whole game. It's a really good play calling, and they were very good play calling with Brian Dable, who's now the coach of the Giants. And then when Dorsey took over, it was a massive downswing. So that's really kind of saved them. And also their coach's speech about 9/11 and the
damn
hijackers.
Right, baby.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? It didn't even make any sense.
It's about teamwork.
Some of these coaches go to these wild places. Yeah. Like
I guess you don't want to keep saying the same shit, so you start to make up something new on the fly. You don't know what you're saying, but you got to pump them up somehow. And when those brave terrorists got on there and they coordinated and they followed through,
all odds were against them.
Perfect plan. When he grabbed the first one, grabbed that baby and held a box cutter up to it, they knew they were gonna win.
Yeah, but they're coming on, and the Bills hold the their own destiny for the division.
I know that Bills Dolphins game is going to mean a lot, probably.
A lot, and it's not. Oh, we'll be in Miami though.
Yes, it's in Miami.
Yeah,
but
they're starting to play, and I mean they should have beat Philly. So
it's not super often that literally the last game of the season means everything.
By the way, I have a buddy who's a Philly fan, Eagle fan, and he's just a psycho, and he's like. He probably writes 5 paragraphs during a game. And he was like, I'm not, until they fire everybody, I'm not going to it. And it's just like, dude, they lost the Super Bowl on a bad play last year. You can't win the Super Bowl every year. You run into injuries. It's so hard to run it back. Not many teams come back. They're having a good year.
I also think they're really missing Steichen.
Yeah, sure.
I think they're missing him.
And again, look at how the Bills were missing Dable. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, did you guys like how Matt Patricia was looking there on the defense?
Well, he was looking good until the last drive.
I just love seeing him walking around with that pencil out.
He looks like a medieval warlock or something, like a magician.
Their defense was better.
He was so hated in Detroit that they had a website shitting on him with the players.
Oh, he was so gross.
Yeah,
he was just a disgusting. That always, like, Colin Coward is funny to me, like in an ironic way. But he's just like going, "Oh my God, he's just on the sidelines and he's a slob. He's a slob."
Well, he shaved his beard when he came to Detroit, like he's gonna be corporate Matt Patricia, but Again, any of those coaches, the Joe Judges, the Matt Patricia, the Josh McDaniels, they come from New England. They're going to instill the Patriot way, and it never works.
Never.
Well, when you don't have Tom Brady, it's a little hard to make the Patriot way happen. We also had so the Eagles now, if you're an Eagles, I know, Maddie, you're defending them because they have like a historically hard schedule. But that's 3 in a row now.
No, I know. And it's also, again, how many teams make the Super Bowl 2 years in a row? It's so hard. And
I know it's hard. But like
they're still 10-4.
That's the thing.
But they've lost 3 in a row. You're heading towards playoff time. And
so they've got 3 cupcakes up. They've got the Giants twice and the Cardinals.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
This is their time to I want to see how it's not just winning these games, it's how they look winning these games.
And I think they control their destiny of winning the division.
I think it's
unless it changed because they lost to Seattle.
Yeah, I think it might. I think it's it's a little more up in the air now.
The second half was lost by the offensive coordinator. Like, you're throwing bombs when you're up by a couple, like all you need is really a field goal to just at least.
No, Hurts had some bad decision. That like the end of the game, he could have
throwing that
thrown
bomb
something
in the end zone. The interception was
that was
horrible.
dumb.
They
He
were
could have
winning.
thrown something underneath and kicked a field goal. Like,
and also you want to kill clock too. You don't need
Yeah.
to score that fast. You want to control the ball. And look, he's been awesome the last 2 years, and that's the thing. It's like they can't win every game. They just can't. They've overachieved the last 2 years. So like for the Eagle, I know the Eagle fans are insane, but like it's 10-4 is not a bad year after losing the Super Bowl by a lucky play.
Also, they are second now in the division. The Cowboys lead the division.
But I still
I don't know.
think
To me, it's not 10 and you don't look at the overall as 10-4. You just go, it's a what have you done for me lately? And you've lost 3 in a row, and we're only 3 weeks away from 3-4 weeks from the playoffs starting. So
a lot of it to me still comes down to how do they look during this sort of situation. They'd probably have to go on the road in the playoffs then. I guess I assume that means they're playing someone like the Bucks, maybe.
Well, the Bucks are the Saints. I think the Bucks will win that division. By the way, 17-7 at halftime. Rams looking good. Ramley doing well. I know Luke's a kind of Rams fan.
Yeah, I'm a Ram.
You're
I'm
more
part
of a
the
Lions
Ramley.
fan. Yeah. So Ramley up 17-7, but I don't know.
It'd be a miracle if they made the playoffs this year. That'd be pretty nuts.
The Rams will. They're in the playoffs right now.
Are they in already?
I'm looking it up right now. They're not locked in. Only teams locked into the playoffs right now are the Ravens, Niners, Cowboys, and Eagles.
But if the season ended.
Yeah, if the season ended right now, so in the hunt, we still have like the Dolphins, Chiefs, Lions. Rams would be in it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the season ended. So if they win today,
I think they still got to play 49ers again, though. So I don't like.
How many teams make the playoffs for each conference again?
7.
Yeah.
4 divisions, 3 wild card.
So when did Brandon Staley get fired? Brandon Staley get fired past our last show?
The day after Friday.
Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
God, that was
apologies for that, man.
You know when you get fired is when the team quits on you. You saw the Jets quit this weekend. The Chargers absolutely quit. And then when you see like that they quit on the coach, it's just like, yeah, they want to change. And the best way to get a coach fired is to quit on a game. And I like what the Raiders are doing, but they ain't worth 63 points. That's for sure.
No, God.
But
that's a mess.
The Chargers are
a
disgusting.
decent coordinator, I think, but he was over his head as coach. He didn't have it. His press conferences were really bad when he'd get like stuttering John, like he'd get all worked up on one question. He'd be like, "No, we haven't lost the locker room," or something would question his bad 4th down, whatever, and he would like stick by it. I mean, one of the worst games ever is when all he had to do was sit on the ball to get on the playoffs, and he decided to like go for it or something, and it was bizarre. That was 2 years ago where they didn't make the playoffs. Where the game came down to the last year of the season, where if the Chargers and the Raiders tied, they both got in. And the Chargers basically had the ball with less than 2 minutes, and if they sit on it, they both get in. And somehow they started to play, and I don't know, there was a turnover, they went for it, and the Raiders got a field goal, and the Steelers got in. And you're just like, what are you thinking, dude? Like, are you an idiot? Like, that was one of the dumbest things you'll ever see. They cut him slack because he was a rookie coach, but then blowing the Jacksonville game last year, and then, you got a franchise quarterback. You're not winning. You got to go.
If you're the Chargers, do you actually debate, could you trade him and get a bunch of stuff for him and start a full rebuild?
It's so hard to find a franchise quarterback. You could look 20 years and not get a franchise quarterback. They have it.
I think if they got the right coach, they would be in the playoffs next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They have talent.
I'm just worried about the receiver starting to retire.
Yeah, well, Keenan Allen's getting old, but
you get some new ones. I'm sure
Quentin
Jalen Waddle's not going to want to play second fiddle forever.
Really hope Quentin Johnson gets better. I loved him in college.
He was great in college.
He has to get better.
Yes. He's gotten better as the season's gone along, but he hasn't.
The drops are just killer, dude.
Yeah,
the drops are
what he's supposed to do.
All right. We also had the Ravens over the Jags this weekend. Ravens like
rolling, baby.
Now.
Mm-hmm.
They're rolling.
And so they're coming up this week. We got them playing the 49ers.
That's a great game. I'm so
could be a potential Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah, that's fun. It's Christmas night.
On the Monday night triple. Christmas night. It's Monday.
You know, it's funny. NBA used to kind of own Christmas. Like they would get their prime games. The NFL just went in there and said, fuck you.
Yeah, the NFL could do that to anybody.
But yeah, I'm looking forward.
Also coming up this week, Cowboys versus Dolphins.
That's gonna be an awesome.
I need it so bad. I need
Two
it.
teams that like the Cowboys. They had a terrible game this week. You know they're gonna give a better effort. They're gonna be home.
No, the Cowboys are on the road.
Oh, it's in Miami.
It's in Miami, so this is also like a Dallas on the road situation because they've been way worse on the road than at home.
Absolutely.
So this is a very big game.
Yes, and Miami wants to win this too. They can probably get home field advantage, I would think, if they win out.
If they win out, then yeah, they're in the lead of the division right now. Obviously they'll have to play the Bills in 2 weeks, so stuff kind of like changes based on that. But I think right now they're doing pretty good.
And they need that signature win. They need to beat a really good team.
What's the line in this right now?
I think it was like last I saw it was 1.5 or 1 for Miami.
Oh.
It is according to CBS Sports. What are we looking at? Oh, it's 4:00 game, right? It's got to be.
It is.
Yeah, 1.5 minus Miami.
Yeah, 1.5, 1, something like that.
That's a pick 'em, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be probably somewhere around a pick 'em come game time.
Feeling confident?
I think Tyreek's back, so I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Dallas has a pretty good rush defense, which kind of worries me because that is a big part of Miami's game is the run game.
Absolutely.
So I'm not as worried about Dallas's cornerbacks at all. So it depends. I just don't want it. I don't want to see a repeat.
Can't play any worse than last week. That's for sure.
The issue is the Eagles game. Like the Eagles shut down Miami's run game.
Yeah.
So it'll come down to how does Dallas's defense look against the run. And I feel like they've been not fantastic the last couple of weeks against that. So I'm hopeful. All
right. Some other games to watch out for. Bengals Steelers.
It's going to be important. No Jamar Chase.
Jeez.
He's hurt.
Bengals playoffs chances are slipping right now.
But they've had 3 wins in a row. 3 in a row. They're hanging in there.
They're sitting right now, Matty, according to NFL.com. They're currently at a 42% to make the playoffs. If they win, they're going to sit at 62%. If they lose, they go down to 16%.
And Mason Rudolph is back.
Yeah, baby.
The Mason Show.
I really wish he came back when they played the Browns.
As a human being.
Really wish he would have come back when they played the Browns.
Yeah. Well, no, you know what? Him and Garrett, is it Garrett Wilson? No,
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett. They actually had a very, very
they did
tender moment.
I saw that.
Did they hug?
Yeah, they did.
Did they gaze into each other's eyes?
No, but they did hug, and it was like, good, this shit's over. This was dumb.
Out of
he forgave him for calling him the N-word. That's so nice of him.
By the way, Ohtani is back.
Did you guys see?
He's at the game. Ohtani.
He was supposed to be there with the other Japanese pitcher.
Did you guys hear what Kirk Herbstreit said?
What did he say?
He called him Shohei Antony.
Whatever.
It's not a terribly difficult name to fuck up.
It's not a hard name.
Shohei Ohtani. It's
very phonetic.
Yes, it is. You can.
Well, he's got his Rams jersey on.
Of course he does. He reps.
Right.
He's rambling.
He's an Angelino now, baby. No more Angels of Anaheim. He's straight in the city now.
He can still live in the same house, I bet.
No. The Rams used to play in Anaheim too.
No, he lives in Boyle Heights now.
Yeah. He lives right where Jim's apartment was. He moved into Jim's old apartment in Inglewood.
I didn't live in Inglewood, Matty. I lived in Palms.
Sorry. Yeah, he lives in Jim's old apartment.
It's quite a difference. I didn't know you lived in Palms either.
I lived in Palms for a year. For the most part, I lived in Burbank.
Yeah, well, it's not too far from where I was in West LA myself.
Okay, so, nice.
Yeah.
I like Luke's apartment. He lived there in IHOP. Fun fact.
Oh, you were just at my final one in Mid City though. I lived in West LA for like 15 years. It was ridiculous.
Then I went to your place once in I think North Hollywood.
Oh, that when we went to that party that you were psyched up for.
Oh, I was in a bad place that night. I just broke up with this girl and I was not doing well.
Yeah, like we were at this party at a bar and Mick Jagger's daughter was there and she was friends with the people we knew. And I remember Maddie, and I'm like, oh, Maddie, it's Mick Jagger. He's like, I don't give a fuck about Mick Jagger's daughter.
Yeah, I was hurting that night.
All right. Well, you're healed now. Your heart is healed. Right, Maddie?
If I win this fantasy league, my heart will be healed.
Is that what it takes? Okay.
Yeah.
Other games to watch out for with the Colts, Falcons, Gardner Minshew.
And the Falcons are ass. I think this is the end of their coach.
Arthur Smith?
Yeah.
End of Art Smith?
Yeah.
As it should be.
Desmond Ridder don't have it. And one of the big busts so far is their running back. We all thought.
I am not going to call him a bust. They have not been using him for shit.
They try. He just can't get.
They barely use him, Maddie.
They try in the first quarter. Then as soon as they put Terry Algerian, they move the ball.
They barely fucking use Bijan, and they're terrible. They're terrible at using both Pitts and London. Like, they have these weapons. They just have a dog shit quarterback, and they have a dog shit person like running the team.
Yeah, Desmond Ridder, look, he's not.
If they would have gotten Joe Flacco, this would be a playoff team.
I'll tell you this. He won the game last week, but I was not impressed with him at all. They just hung in there till the end. I mean, they should have lost that game. And until like the last drive, he wasn't very good. But I still think Flacco has something left.
Oh, I'm not calling him like great or anything like that. But if they would like he's definitely better than Ridder.
No, I get it. And Ridder and Heineke are just not. They're going back to Heineke this week.
Good.
Watch your mouth.
Good.
Yeah. So Ritter's done. And once you get benched twice, I think it's over. But I think, what I think? I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Murray's on the block after this year, that you can maybe get him.
He'd be a great get for them.
Yeah.
They're going to be in a good position to get a decent pick too.
Yes.
They could,
They might be able to snag like a Drake. Oh, Drake May's. Yeah, they could probably get like a Drake May.
But this was the year to win the division. It was a very weak division. You can't lose to Carolina. That pretty much seals the fate of the coach. Scoring like 6 points is garbage. Just Desmond Ridder. I mean, maybe he'll get another chance with somebody else, but
Desmond Ridder, come on down to the XFL, baby.
Yeah, I think he was.
Some of these guys should. It would develop them. Like, why wouldn't you want to get more reps in?
All right, we got the Lions Vikings. I think the Lions clinch if they win.
Yeah,
this one.
You never know what the Vikings are going to show up. I thought quarterback Nick Mullen played pretty well. He's also a funny comedian. Also, they essentially lost the game in overtime on the tush push. They tried it twice in overtime around the 50, and it didn't work. And this is something where you got to realize Jalen Hurts squats 600 pounds. It's not going to just be automatic for other teams. If your quarterback can't do it, why do you do it?
They should. I've been saying this like all season now since the tush push became like a major thing. More teams should invest in like different position groups, sort of like what the CFL does that has a short down back like quarterback to just sneak it. Just put a tight end back there.
Maddie, you get Blake from The Bachelor.
Oh, he's got legs.
With those thighs, he would move the line himself.
He probably would, but he's Canadian.
He wouldn't even need the push. Yeah.
He would have to learn the rules. He's not the brightest
guy. He just has to come and take that snap and just
is this a boot
push forward?
110 yards? Is this a boot? No, it's 100 yards. No, nuts.
Do we see the return of the fullbacks? Just to
there's some good ones. Like
just take the sneak. Just get a fullback to actually take the sneak for you.
One of the fun fullbacks this year is Malcolm Rodriguez. was a fullback on he was a defensive guy in the Lions, and he kind of lost his job, and now he's playing good fullback.
Okay.
Luke, also, by the way, Lions
Yes.
sitting right now currently 99% to make the playoffs. If they win, also 99%. If they lose, also 99%.
Okay, so we're in the 99 percentile. It's a good place to be.
They're basically locked in for the playoffs.
Yeah, they pretty much are.
All right, I'll take it. I will take it. We got
Detroit to be happy as hell.
I'm very happy.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Is a success one playoff win, or one playoff win and a loss? Is that a bad year?
I think just making the playoffs is good. You know, winning the division would be even better, which it looks like they're going to do too. So they're really doing what they should be doing. You know, they're doing they're taking the next step.
They're going steps. They're not just jumping from where they were directly to Super Bowl.
Right.
They're doing this, and then they're kind of, then if they don't make the playoffs next year, then that's a disappointment. I think right now they're like, making the playoffs is like the expectation.
Yes.
And then winning the division is a success. That's above expectation. Right. And if they win a playoff game, that's a level above the expectation.
Absolutely.
Still.
Yeah.
It's all just cream on top at that
right.
point.
I have
just
a
creaming all over.
Hell yeah.
I have a bet with a guy I play poker with who somehow bet me that the Lions would go further than the Chiefs for $50. And I think I got a good deal with that because, you know, Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes.
Sure.
That's a bet I don't mind losing because I hate the Chiefs. And I want to see the Lions do well.
Now. Yeah.
But
you hate Mahomes, you hate Swifty.
Oh, I hate Swifty. When her whole Chad and Brad shit was garbage. Where she's like, I'm just watching my boyfriend. I'm not here to please Chad or Brad. Yeah, make fun of the whole football fan base.
Also, Travis Kelce's definitely a Chad or Brad.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, and she's probably sucked on a couple Chad or Brad, you know what?
Chad Kroger from Nickelback.
Oh yeah. That Canadian
You think he got Swifty early on?
He might have.
Yeah, before she was famous, before she knew better.
Before
she and you know what?
14?
You know what?
I don't.
April Lavigne goes, yo, Taylor Swift got my sloppy seconds, yo.
Did you say Avril?
Yeah, April or Avril, whatever the fuck her name is.
Avril.
One of the worst.
Avril Lavigne.
Put some respect on that name.
Ever.
Whoa, Maddie. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Don't slander Avril Lavigne.
Sorry.
Yes, don't slander the.
That was a very formative
female punk,
formative artist in my early years.
Skater boy.
Yeah.
Did you skateboard because of her?
No, I skateboarded because of the Tony Hawk games.
Okay.
Well, you should have skateboarded because she was a boy. He was a skater boy. I see you later.
She said, "See you later, boy."
Great song.
He wasn't good enough
and now
for
he's
her.
XFL Jim.
Very poetic, like Bobby D.
Oh, she's got.
I like those songs. It's like you're so bitter. Like you've got everything in life, and now you're bitter against this person who was a bitch to you when you were 15.
Yes, a lot of songs from artists back then are just like everything that happens to you in high school is the most important thing that'll happen to you in your life.
Yes,
that
and
is
I will
wild
cling on to that until the day I'm rotting.
When you are in high school, you do think the girl you have a crush on, like you have these fantasies of getting married and having kids and this whole like fake world that you've created. And now thinking about it as an old fart, I'm like, well, are you that stupid? Like you raised the stakes that high with some girl that was like, you're 16 and she's 16 and you have this massive crush on her and like you're an idiot.
I look back at myself in high school, Maddie, and think only one thing, that I should have focused more on the XFL. That's it.
How old were you in 2001?
I was 7 years old.
That'd be cool if you did get a big time gig, Jim, and they invited you back to speak at your school, and you're like, listen, your teachers are going to give you a bunch of bull crap about getting good grades and going to college. Don't believe them. It's all about the XFL.
It's also like
that's my only regret here at what was your high school?
Yeah. Also, people like go to your high school reunion and they're like, they have a weird job. Like, it's like, yeah, like I chase, like I work at a zoo and I tame lions. They're like, whoa, he tames lions. You're like, well, what do you do, Jim? I'm like, well, I'm the #1 expert in spring league football. And they're like, whoa, that's insane.
Oh my God.
like, do you know about the USFL and like who's the first draft pick? And you're like, so and so, blah 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 blah. And you're just like,
all
whoa,
up here, baby.
mommy, there goes that man.
And they're like, well, let me stump you. Japanese Football League, who won it? You're like, the Shinogi Lions, so and so. They beat the so and so.
The answer, Maddie, is usually the Fujitsu Frontiers. They're on a 13-year
Whoa.
tear. They're on a tear right now.
They're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Spring League guy.
Press those kids. Like, where'd you go? Corn High in Nebraska? Is that the name of it?
It was a place called Minden High.
Okay.
We were the Whippets.
Oh, that's cool. Did you do whippets?
No answer.
Stuttering John did a whippet for $100 on his stream.
So our mascot was the dog, like a whippet, like a greyhound, but it was based off the car.
Okay.
Yeah, because the guy who one of the big founders of the town drove like a whippet car or something like that.
That's funny. There's in northern Michigan. There's the Kingsford School. Their nickname is the Flivers, which was also like an old ass car back in the day.
My high school was the Ontario Indians, which of course got changed. I don't know what it is now.
What is it now? The Fighting Jews?
Yeah, no, but it was the Ontario Indians, and then about 6-7 years ago, the world changed, and then they had to change it. But I don't know it. I don't even know what it is.
I don't know. Yeah, we have the big one in Muskegon is the Muskegon Big Reds.
Big Red.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red
so
Storm.
of course, I don't know. I don't know if they've ever talked about getting rid of that name.
No, it was a big
change
deal.
The context of it if you wanted, but they, all their imagery is, big headdresses and.
We had a dance called the Tomahawk too.
Yeah. Did you do
and our yearbook was called the Tomahawk too. Yeah, it was a giant one. What was the Indian name? It was on.
Yeah, no, I like it.
It was right outside of the city, and there's all these Indian towns, and I don't know much about it. I just go to school and fuck off and listen to my Walkman.
All right. Jim, congratulations on getting Nebraska getting Dylan Raiola.
Oh, God, it felt so good. God, it felt so good.
Number one recruit quarterback.
So they're Hawaiian, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought they were Italians or something.
So his dad played. He was an All-American in Nebraska, and that kind of I want to be a family.
Played for the Lions as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
This has been great.
He's the number 8 recruit in the country. Is he the number 1 quarterback?
I think he is.
He is the number 1 quarterback. Yeah.
Okay. Number 1 quarterback. Yeah. So this might put you guys ahead of schedule a little bit. Because if he's, no one can be as bad as that. Even if they play this guy as a freshman, he can't be worse than the guy they had last year.
The other kids were not up to snuff.
So our best guy was probably Chuba Purdy. And he was hurt most of the year.
Is he related to Brock Purdy?
Yes, he is. He's his brother.
I guess he's not as good.
He's not as good. But Brock Purdy at Iowa State was crazy. But he'll instantly be like the best quarterback on the roster. Also, it's the highest ranked recruit I think Nebraska's had in the last 30 years.
No, that's insane.
Like 20, 30 years.
Their defense was good, so you just fixed the offense. You're an 8-9 win team with a quarterback that has it. You don't know. We don't know if Archie Manning is that good. And everybody was jerking off to him. So we just don't know.
He'll get the start, I would imagine. Also, I get we're not Iowa. We've quietly, at least for the Big Ten, we've been having some pretty solid tight ends. And just recruited 2 other 4-star tight ends.
Is that what he did? He flipped with Georgia?
So he was originally Alabama, decommitted from Alabama, then Georgia, decommitted from Georgia. Now he's all in at Nebraska. He's signed at Nebraska.
Do you think Nebraska's like, look, you're going to sit for a year or 2 with those other schools. You'll have a chance to play first year.
Well, I think a big part of it was probably Carson Beck coming back for Georgia.
Yeah.
He probably wants to start, and he was not going to do that there.
Gotcha.
And obviously he's not going to start at Bama because they're still just going to go with the man.
Yeah, he got better as the year
for Rule though to be able to do that in his second year, especially after coming off of a tough season too.
It wasn't a tough season though. I think they gutted the program. They had some tough
Yeah,
losses
but
early.
it's still like
not
it's
making
not,
a bowl is tough. Not making
yeah,
a bowl
not
is
making
tough.
a
Scott
bowl.
Frost
It's hard to
was a
point.
joke.
It's hard. You have to make people a believer that things are going in the
Yeah.
right direction, even when your eyes will tell you otherwise.
I mean, Mike Norvell didn't have a good first year at Florida State. I mean, they didn't win. They lost a lot of games up front.
Sure.
I think they lost to like a cupcake game his first season. So
Yeah.
It's nice. It's
yeah.
nice to be sitting at 6th place in recruiting in the Big Ten. The
What-
only
what are
teams
they
that had
overall? Did they rank overall?
22nd. 22nd
Okay, that's
overall.
good. Yeah, like Michigan was 16th. So
They've also taken like Nebraska has 26 commits.
By the way, they will
They
not
have
let
so
Michigan
many
alone.
commits.
They will not let Michigan alone about all these violations.
It never ends.
Yeah.
It's funny though. It's always ESPN and shit because it's just
It
clickbait.
seems like there's a witch hunt.
It really it's gonna flip around on them at some point.
Well,
Like,
I would
it's just-
imagine every team that's a massive are bending the rules. Like you don't think Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State are bending the rules? Texas are figuring out how to get these guys any way they can. I mean,
in this one, it's like where he bought a couple recruits some cheeseburgers during COVID when apparently there was a dead period.
oh my God, how
Yeah.
dare he?
Yeah, I mean,
Holy
it's just like
fuck.
it's so dumb that
Did
the
he buy the
NCAA
milkshake too?
and
'Cause if he did, that's fucked
he
up.
bashes the NCAA all the time. He's like,
Yeah.
players deserve to get paid. That's it.
Yeah.
Bottom
If he
line.
bought him a milkshake though, then he crossed the line.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's
Oh,
stupid. I
sorry,
think
can we-
everyone's gonna be fatigued on it. Even Michigan.
Well,
haters
it's going
will
to
at some
cost him to
point.
leave. That's the problem.
Well, that is it. That'll be one of the things if he doesn't come back. That's definitely going to be something they'll.
I think the
point
bigger
to.
thing is an NFL opportunity for him.
Can we
Yeah,
quickly
I mean,
talk about
the
oh,
bottom
sorry.
line is he's made it clear before that he wants to go to another Super Bowl.
Yeah,
So,
he could.
he
A lot of
definitely could.
rumors.
I
with
mean,
the
if he went to
Bears.
San Diego,
Yep. The
yeah,
LA
I
Chargers.
bet they could. He could have that team right
yeah.
in the thick of the playoffs.
Can
right
we
away.
quickly talk about Tommy DeVito's agent? Who
Please.
fucked up big time.
Yeah.
What's
So
what's that guy's name?
Sean or Shane something. Just look up Tommy DeVito's agent.
That's what I'm
He
looking
looks
up right
like
now.
Father Guido Sarducci.
Yeah,
Like,
he does. But here's the thing. So the word is he's like the big guy. Everybody's
Sean
talking about
Stellato.
him. Yeah, he's colorful. He actually played college football at Marist, which is right by where I grew up. So he's Tommy DeVito's agent. He wears these flamboyant suits. It gets him a lot of attention. He wore this crazy green outfit in New Orleans this week, which was ridiculous. And then Tommy's going to do an appearance at a pizza place in Jersey. It's a $12,000 gig. Somehow Sean jacks it up to $24,000. And this is where the press comes out. And it's like Tommy DeVito doubles his charge. And that's horrific PR, especially when Tommy DeVito doesn't know how long this is going to last, how many years he's going to be in the spotlight. It's just bad PR and it's got bad press. And then Tommy DeVito was the superhero who decided to do it for free, which is really cool. And then he didn't fire him, but he no longer will he be taking care of his appearances. So he demoted him.
Well, it's a little weird because I heard the thing was that there actually wasn't a contract or anything. It was just a quote.
Sure.
And then the pizza place kind of made it sound like he was balking or
Yeah.
like, oh, we were going to have Tommy here, but like they really didn't have an agreement. So it might have been
Gotcha.
totally the pizza place just kind of
Yeah.
spinning this into something for their own PR. Then Tommy DeVito like was sort of obligated to go. Otherwise he's going to look like a putz.
That's the thing. Once it hits the press,
Right.
you're the
You have
asshole
no
in the story.
choice
Yeah.
to go, but to go, I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's funny because this whole shit only exists because of where Tommy DeVito is playing now. If
Yes.
Tommy DeVito was playing in Denver or something, no one would give a shit
No,
about
probably
him.
That's
in
why
this
if I'm
story.
Tommy DeVito, you're like soaking this up for all it's worth.
Of
Oh,
course.
yes.
That's why
Yes.
this would be a big PR disaster if you didn't go there for free. And the other thing I was reading with somebody, they're saying like, listen, you never, if you're working behind the scenes, you never want to be bigger than your client. And he was getting there. He was becoming the fucking show. He was getting all the interviews. He was milking it. He's dressing in these crazy outfits. He obviously wants attention. It's like, Your job is to be the background guy. You're not the star here.
I do think part of that is it's way easier to probably get somebody's agent in the middle of the season than to get like a starting NFL quarterback.
I guess. But it's just a little weird because he became the star. He was on the other thing he was on. I watched his Pat McAfee interview.
Of course you did, Matty. You're Pat McAfee's biggest fan.
I am. Well, I wanted to know who this guy was, and one of the interesting things he said is he saw the movie Jerry Maguire, and wanted him to be an agent. And like, yeah, that's a great movie, but you ain't Tom Cruise.
Does this guy rep anybody else?
He reps 3 guys that we never heard of, and he says he's got a couple guys that are gonna be drafted hopefully this season.
This guy just feels like E from Entourage, like it's a family friend or something.
Yeah. But that's
he very well might be.
He goes, I was watching Jerry Maguire in '96, and I'm like, if I can't play, this looks like a lot of fun. And I'm like, yeah, it's fun, but every agent stays behind the scenes. Do you guys know what Drew Rosenhaus looks like?
Too.
What's that?
These guys are nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
Another something else I want to hit on was Rashard Mendenhall.
Yeah, that was great.
And his tweet,
dude, said he blew up the internet with this one.
I'm sick of average white guys commenting on football. Y'all not even good at football. Can we please replace the Pro Bowl with an all black versus all white bowl so these cats can stop trying to teach me who's good at football? I'm better than your GOAT.
Okay. That's quite.
And people did it.
Yeah, they really bought into it.
My favorite comment was, which team gets Mahomes?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I know.
I think people said like all the mixed and Samoans have to sit this one out.
And the thing is like
no Puka Nakua, no whatever. Sorry, man.
Every podcast has like kind of a spin on it, but my feeling is this is like if you're in entertainment, the sports is entertainment. You're making money. You have a right. Are the people that like us, the consumers, we have a right to say anything we want. We really do.
Oh, talk about it all you want. There are definitely people online who've been like taking it way too like seriously and
Has
not just having
made
fun
the
with
Pro Bowl of white versus black though. I'd like to see this.
Will Compton did it on Twitter.
Yeah.
He came up with a whole list.
Sure.
I'll see if I can find it for you.
But the other thing about it too is, when I was doing comedy, I'm like, if somebody is a big comedy fan and says I suck, they have every right to think I suck. That's totally their God-given right. Like, do they know how to tell a joke? Do they know how to put a 15, 20-minute set together? No, but they have a right to consume entertainment and have an opinion.
Sure.
That's kind of how it goes.
Well, it's just the right of all Americans to have an opinion. Even
you should be lucky that we love football. We love football so much. We consume it. It's great for the game because it brings more money in. The more of us idiots that get YouTube TV, the more money you make. So you better hope that these average white guys who can't play sports love we love it. We love football.
I love it.
This
wow, Derek Carr just threw the listeners.
The Pittsburgh Pirates, their chairman is named Bob Nutting.
Nice.
Nutting.
Nutting.
So they're talking about Andrew McCutchen, playing for the Pirates again here, and it's like
that'd be part 3.
Yeah, I think so. And it was like the title on this post was Pirates chairman Bob Nutting on Andrew McCutchen. And everybody's like, he did what?
He did what to him?
Yeah. And it's funny because it's marked not safe for work. It's just a tweet.
That's beautiful.
And then it lists this guy's, letter to Andrew McCutchen. But it's just great that there's a guy named Bob Nutting. And when they talk about him speaking on someone, it's Bob Nutting on Andrew McCutchen.
I like that quite a bit.
I do too, more than I should.
I'm sure in high school he got a lot of attention.
I have I have the rosters if you guys want them.
All right, let's hear it.
So for the white,
all right, Jim.
Josh Allen QB.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey running back. Obviously, that's probably like the easiest one to do.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about him. That's all we got.
Offensive line for what Compton had.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey, Ryan Kelly, Zach Martin, Chris Lindstrom, and Quentin Nelson. Lane Johnson and Colton Miller. Receivers, Cooper Kupp, obviously. Adam Thielen.
Pretty good.
Okay.
And then he put Travis Kelce in as a wide receiver 3.
Who's the tight end?
Tight end, we're doing George Kittle and Sam Laporta.
Both great.
Oh, boy.
Iowa guy.
Yeah. Good luck
That's
stopping
your
them.
offense right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Defense. TJ Watt, both Bosa's, so Nick and Joey Bosa, and then Max Crosby. The D-line is pretty
The
stacked.
cornerbacks are
that's-
going to be the trouble. That's going to be the problem.
Linebackers, Matt Milano, Logan Wilson, and Alex Singleton.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Safeties, Harrison Smith and Christian McCaffrey. Different,
Now the cornerbacks.
different Christian McCaffrey. And the quarterbacks, Riley Moss and Cooper DeJean. So Cooper DeJean right now is playing safety, but he did play corner at Iowa, and he was a stud corner.
Okay.
Right now, I believe Riley Moss is like the only white cornerback actually playing in the league.
It doesn't sound as bad as I thought it would sound.
And then
What
for the
about
black,
the other team?
Yeah, the black lineup. So Delani Walker responded and made the black lineup.
Yeah,
So here's the offense.
sure.
Left tackle, Trent Williams.
Mhm.
Laramie Tunsil, right tackle. Mike Onwenu for guard. Jenkins for guard. Eric McCoy center. And then we got Tyreek Hill, Debo, and Devontae Adams is who he had as his wide receivers.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking good.
And A.J. Brown.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking good.
Kyle Pitts, David Njoku for your tight ends.
Feed Kyle Pitts the ball, goddammit.
Yeah.
Lamar
Jesus.
Jackson for your quarterback.
It's pretty good.
Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs for your running back. And then for defense, you got Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, Aaron Donald, Chris Jones, Jeffrey Simmons, Sauce Gardner, Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay, Stephon Gilmore, Derwin James, Mika Fitzpatrick, Fred Warner, Levante David, Demario Davis. They got like a plethora to choose from. The only thing they didn't say is who's kicking for the black team. And
there you go.
who are we going to have coaching these teams?
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin and Bill Belichick? Is that who we're doing?
I'm not a
I think we bring in
Belichick
Lovie
guy, so-
Smith.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin versus Andy
Well, you'd
Reid.
have to say Belichick, even though.
No, I'm going to go Andy Reid. Sorry, Belichick.
So nobody gets Mahomes then. That's funny.
No, Mahomes has to sit out. So he put Mahomes down for the black. Nobody gets Mahomes. I say nobody gets Puka
about
Nacua. Nobody gets
Tua?
the Samoans. No.
Yeah.
I mean, Tua, I think he's like Samoan, isn't he?
I think the white team would lose
Yes.
probably 67-10.
So I think it would be probably like a 30 something to like the white team's obviously playing Iowa football, which is kind of why I would want like a Belichick there because it's going to be like all clock control, run the ball because the offensive line's sick.
Cooper Kupp's like an ideal type of receiver for him.
He got a great running
Exactly
back.
that too. You got a great running back. You have a great receiver in Cooper Kupp. I think Thielen's also kind of an ideal receiver for a Belichick offense.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And like you're gonna kind of have to win this with field goals and punting because you have the best kicker. You get Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
There used to be a black kicker named Donald Geekwe. He was not. I think he was from Africa.
Ibikwe or something. Yeah.
He was on the Buccaneers and the Vikings way back.
My favorite like post about this. Everyone's saying like Bosa's about to go crazy in this game.
Well, that was the other thing that Jason Seymour.
Both of them.
Oh, they're both like that.
Yeah.
Jason
They're both
Seymour
about that.
hasn't been trending forever in his life. He was like the last white cornerback. He was on the Giants.
Yeah.
So he was trending, and people were like, "Did he die or something?"
That's funny. Yeah, that would, to me would be like the scariest part for the white team. I'm like, oh, covering like Tyreek Hill.
You're
like,
done. You're not. You're done.
Right. You kind of
You have
got to
to
hope
play-
play some zone defense and get to the quarterback.
You got to really hope Bosa's and
kill clock.
Crosby
and
clock.
everyone. Yeah. You'll just have to run the clock and it's like you're gonna rely on your tight ends to just dink and dunk.
Yes.
Max Crosby's been having an amazing year.
Yeah.
He's a
No, that guy.
real
It
deal.
sucks that he's stuck on the Raiders because he's a
Well, they can turn it around fast.
Eastern Michigan legend, Max
Yeah.
Crosby.
Damn right. Shout out EMU.
Yeah, that's a great story. That I think Samoans probably have enough people now to.
They could probably do their own team and be pretty competitive.
Yeah,
I
Tua,
think so. I mean, they got Penny Sewell. They got position skill players. You know,
Nakua's been awesome.
what's
Who'd be
that?
the running back? Nakua on the Rams.
Oh, they'd get Penei Sewell too for the offensive line.
Yeah.
It's pouring out in LA right now.
They could have Marcus Mariota back up.
He sucks.
Did you see Anthony Edwards encouraging his girl to get an abortion?
No.
I did not.
Oh, this is great. Yeah. So rising star Anthony Edwards, some Instagram model. So this is the first thing, guys. Don't date Instagram models.
No.
Fame whores. And
Absolutely.
anything you do or say will be held against you in the court
Absolutely.
of public opinion.
Oh, very much.
So if she tells you she's pregnant and you type back, hell no, can't do this. Get an abortion, LOL. Guess where she's gonna post that?
Instagram,
online.
baby.
Yeah.
Right online. And you're gonna be paying probably $200K a month in child support.
You could be like Tyreek Hill and have like 4 babies with 4 different people in Miami.
Well, I feel like he's done that already just in Miami.
People
Like,
said that, yeah. Well, no, not necessarily Miami.
He has
another one. He has another one in Miami.
He got married though. He got married this season.
Man, I feel like all of these guys should get snipped because it's getting snips reversible.
Yeah.
You know, get your shit fucking snipped right away before you get in the league, and then go have fun.
By the way, as I'm watching the Rams, they're dangerous.
You think so?
They're up 27-7, just cruising. Like, I think they're a team you don't want to play in the playoffs. I'm not going to say they're going to make the Super Bowl, but they're like a peaking team. They remind me of the Giants when the Giants would peak at the end of the year. You just peak at the right time.
Yeah. So baseball's talking about more rule changes to help keep speeding up the game, including cutting the pitch time from 20 seconds to 18 seconds.
Stop. You did enough.
I did watch a couple baseball games this year, and I'm kind of with Maddie. I thought they did enough.
You don't
I thought it was
anymore.
I actually thought like I'm never going to be fully into baseball. I'm just not. That's just not who I am. But I thought it was like, oh, you know what? This isn't like it's better. I think it's okay.
I don't think you need to do any more though.
You got to do something else to get people excited for baseball.
Mound visits? Because now they're talking about limiting mound visits from 5 down to 4. Apparently, the average is 2.3 a game.
Why are they so consumed with time? Some of these games were only like 2 hours last year. Like, you want to make it like the average of 2 hours and a half. You're gonna have games ending like an hour and 45 minutes, and then people are gonna feel ripped off. They
got to figure out something else to get people like excited for baseball at this point. It's not just about the time.
I don't think okay, so you talk about people being ripped off, and if you're went to the ball game and watched it, sure, I understand that, but it's all a TV play. Most of that money comes from TV contracts, and if people aren't watching it on TV, then guess what? Your product's going to be dead. So that's my guess. Is it's just TV play and a way to, well, that'd be funny if it just baseball eventually became a TikTok sport somehow. It's just
15-second games.
Yeah, 15-second game. Okay, guys, anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, just much love. Merry Christmas to the two of yous, and we'll see you guys before New Year's Eve, and we'll break down the Final Four of NCAA.
Yeah. Happy bowl season to everybody.
Yeah,
and we'll have to figure out. We don't know. Schedules are all weird, so we'll figure out exactly a day to hang out. Also, check us out on YouTube. We're posting
check us out on
YouTube now. So we're gonna start doing more clips. I've made clips now. I made a clip of Maddie going off. So, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week for another edition of the Sports Hole. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.